Okay, so sorry, stream. Bad news. Something broke, and now uh, none of the custom audio that I have uploaded, including the intro, works. So hopefully, editing Jeff in the future will remember to put the intro in. If not, sucks. Anyway, we're gonna have to be crippled audio right now, but uh, we will, in that case, jump right into the recap.
Careful who you trust.
Last time on the Unsung City, the Bianchis portal back to the Bianchi Chateau. Fritz and formerly have some drug-induced talks with the alternate versions of themselves. The next day, Fritz received some bad news. Mama had fallen ill and had to be rushed to the hospital. They determined the source of Mama's illness was located somewhere in or around Little Tokyo. Now the team gathers their things to head out and seek righteous vengeance.
Okay. So, uh, we are back in the Chicago map, and luckily, I can still do this.
Aha.
So, this blue district labeled Yakuza territory is in and about where Little Tokyo is. It's bigger than than the Yakuza territory, but that's Little Tokyo. In let's see, like I'm making circles with my thing, like you can see it.
I mean, they're quite lovely circles, if we could see it.
That box right there is Little Tokyo.
Okie dokie.
It started out a lot smaller, but it's kind of sprawled in the past year or two. So, we have just received word everyone has gathered back together to make plans. Shamrock,
Yes.
you had arrived at the icebox to discover a very distraught Mary and somewhat less distraught, but still very shaken Mary. Between Mary and Mary, no, they didn't bother to tell you which one was which. They got you. You got them eventually like calmed down and settled in. They put up like business is temporarily closed sign, and all the girls went home for the day. You rejoined the team as they are leaning over the map you see before you, trying to plot out their movements to get into Little Tokyo.
All right. So you're telling me there's some sort of magic disease. And if I'm getting this right, it's going to be somewhere over here. Our guy?
Yes, that seems to be the case.
All right. So are we looking for like a group of cults or just some mook?
I don't know. All I could find was that whoever cast the spell came from that area, and that the nature of the spell was a disease and a curse, and that if we kill the caster, the spell will end.
All right. Well, I guess time to throw my detective hat back on. All right. Any of you guys ever stake out or track anyone down?
I mean, we've quite literally done that together.
Yeah, I've done stakeouts and tracking people down, both with our group and without.
That's fair.
Yes, I think we're all experienced.
Yeah, remember we all we were at the clock tower. We had to, do a stakeout for that. Oh my god, that was so fun.
Well,
Well, I wasn't there for that, but
I know,
I'm
sorry.
sure it was very exciting.
Not really.
well, thinking exciting until we get inside, but it was the thing. Anyways, right. Well, suppose we just follow our disease detector, I guess. Just nodding over to Edwin.
When I get there, hopefully I'll be able to narrow down the location a little more.
Right. And do we have a plan besides kick the crap out of this guy?
Well, we
Oh,
may want
I'm
be
prepared to murder a man in broad daylight. I don't fucking care.
Yeah. No, I agree.
So,
Not normally, but in this case.
So, you guys been in the underworld long enough to know that just bringing almost your entire mob family into the territory of another family is just shy of declaring war on them. So, I mean, you don't care about the Falcones, the Lucianos, the Montellos, or the Renzettis, really. Because you're at war with them already. Yakuza are kind of neutral to you guys right now, so what you want to do is like the proper procedure is to send a message ahead saying, "Hey, we're coming into your territory to chase someone who's harmed one of our own."
Do they? But do we know if they are the cause? Is the question, I guess.
Yeah, it's a good question.
Not something that you guys have looked into so far.
Do we know? I guess we could look and see.
I mean,
I should be saying this in character. We might be able to look and see if any of the Yakuza have also been affected by this illness, and if they are, we might be able to ask for their help on tracking down this person.
Oh, I can look through some files. I mean, the last big hit I remember seeing about this whole plague thing was at that mall. I'm sure there's a few other smaller ones. I'd do some digging while you write up a message.
I have a. Would I be able to find this information at City Hall? Information on like people getting sick? Probably not, right?
Probably not in City Hall because I'm not sure what health records is like, but it definitely wouldn't be stored. Let me phrase that. I'm not sure how good they are recording health information, but definitely wouldn't be stored in City Hall.
They might have information on big outbreaks, though, right? Like a big outbreak
Possible.
happened here.
Yeah,
Once
I mean, might be able to just
this is that'd
Good.
be like a demographic style thing. Like, oh, this general area reported more sicknesses on the census or like over the years. Like this
I
would be
see.
something someone would do like a survey about.
Right,
So
okay.
you would be the person doing that survey, and therefore you would be sitting down with like boxes full of papers trying to sift through the data. That might
I see.
take you a bit.
I see.
If
Okay,
you
never
wanted
mind.
to like narrow it down to, these few blocks have reported, a 50% uptick in diseases over the past 5 years or something like that. Like you could do that, but it might take you a day or two to do, and that's with you being the whiz that you are. This kind of thing normally takes days.
Yeah, we don't have time.
Yeah, it might be better to.
Now, you can make a conjecture, certainly, that anyone who's currently got the any district that is currently housing a plague cult is probably going to be ridden with disease, or at least playing host to a plague cult willingly or unwillingly.
Are there what hospitals would people in that area be getting sent to?
Oh, that's
Is that to say there
funny.
wouldn't be one?
No, this is little Tokyo. They don't care about immigrants. This is the 1920s. They don't care about immigrants. 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 They don't care about immi
they wouldn't have.
Yeah, as opposed to now.
Right. Yeah.
Oof.
Well.
I mean,
I mean, I was thinking there is a
in
pandemic,
10
right?
years, they're going to be sticking them in concentration camps. Right
I guess
now,
that's fair.
Little Tokyo is we handle ourselves and you guys stay out kind of thing. They have their own hospitals and their own doctors of a sort, spiritual healers, that kind of thing. They have
I'm
they
out
have
I'm
like
out of
I
ideas.
mean it's the 20s. They have trained doctors even among the immigrants. But
Mm.
the mainline hospital, like if one of them was like pulled into a hospital, they'd still treat them because that's what they're paid to do. But the police are discouraged from coming in, and the people who are there tend to go to the doctor that their grandmother's grandmother's grandmother, went to. Not the same doctor, obviously, but like this family has been the doctor for
Practice.
my family for generations, so I'm going to go to him rather than this weird building with lots of concrete and bright lights.
It's all in-house.
It's in-house, if in-house means the entire district.
Okay.
It's an insular community, let's put it that way.
Okay.
Now,
Does anybody?
you could certainly, like, once you're in, you could go to, like, one of the local doctors and be like, hey, have you noticed an uptick in plague? And they'd be like, yeah, there's a lot of people getting sick. Or, no, not really.
I think the TLDR is we need our learn for introduction before we do any snooping.
Yeah, so
Right. So
the kosher thing to do would be to send a message requesting a meeting and then talk to them about, hey, someone inside your district has injured one of ours and we're here to seek recompense. That way you're not
Well-
stepping on any toes. The Yakuza and the Japanese in general are very formal.
I mean, shame if you need to pull extra strings. You were closer to Rin than most of the rest of us. And we all kind of
Well,
did
Yeah.
a little bit of a favor for them back in
You did,
the
and that
day.
would that would help you if you pulled on that string.
given the letter that I got at the end, let's just say it doesn't spark any good feelings between Rin and their former employer, put it that way.
Well, then you still did them a favor by handing Rin over.
I have a sword. Let's play close to the chest, but we'll see if any. We'll see if we can get any inroads through old contacts.
I mean, I can go in looking inconspicuous, and I probably will do that while you guys are doing all your red taping.
Okay.
If no one objects.
I guess I'll speak up for Marie here and say she doesn't want to start a war with the Yakuza as well. So be careful.
In overhead, call and we'll be there as soon as we can. But let's keep it quiet.
I remember when we were dealing with Alathorn that you looked different. Are you capable of shape-shifting? If so, then going there and looking like you belong would be rather easy.
You've quite literally seen me do it so many times. What do you mean, am I capable of shapeshifting?
Have you shapeshifted in front of us before?
So many times. I
Oh.
do it on a
Yeah.
whim.
To be fair,
Oh.
I'm not sure if Edwin would know if that's an illusion or true shapeshifting.
I think it's irrelevant. I think it's immaterial to the point. I
But
thought
yes.
that was still secret. That's my bad. I forgot about that. I forgot.
Gosh, when has Fritz been fucking subtle about anything? You kidding me?
Okay,
I guess that's
so
fair.
let's bridge the other gap here, which I'm sure someone with high enough intelligence will point out. Do any of you speak the language?
No.
No.
Absolutely not.
But Edwin, I thought you were like good enough to do like one of those, know all languages spells. I've heard of those, right? Can you do one of those? We could get a spell scroll before we go.
Let me check my spell list. I have comprehend language. I don't think that lets me speak the language
Nope,
though, does
that'll
it?
let you understand.
Yeah.
You get subtitles, but you don't. That doesn't translate to you knowing the language, unfortunately. So if I'm not trying to throw up a wall here, but if Gray does slip in, it's gonna be
Complicated.
Gray's not going to be able to respond to anything anyone says, nor is Gray going to understand. The comprehend languages could work for understanding, but you have to come up with a reason that you're not talking.
I need you to know that at this point in time, there are people that have, at this point, come over and specifically not learned the language in order to better integrate into society. That is called assimilation. And it's why Fritz doesn't fucking speak German.
At least people speaking second language, common, or what have you.
It's almost like when your people are the bad guy in several world wars, or just one at this point, that you don't want to fucking be seen as not American.
Yeah, that's true.
There are going to be a couple of people that speak English perfectly fine.
Well, I mean, some form of English, certainly. But I don't know. You see if you can find them, certainly. There's probably at least one.
Yeah. Give it a shot, I suppose.
We could always.
You could always just like ask around and see if any of your underworld contacts know Japanese too.
What about Dimitri's boyfriend?
Is any Chinese?
He's Lee is Chinese.
It's been at least 2 weeks since I've seen him. My memory's not very good.
That's
very fair.
That's a shot. Fuck.
Maybe Big Mick. I mean, he's a mover and shaker. He probably knows languages.
I could go and buy a scroll of tongues.
Another option is that when you send the letter, you could also ask for an interpreter.
I mean, my concern, which it sounds like you're telling me I shouldn't be concerned about this, but my concern is if the Yakuza are responsible for the diseases, that it will be a trap if we go and they'll just be like, oh yeah, sure, we can meet up, and then the whole thing will be a trap and we'll get attacked.
So,
which is why investigating first and then sending the letter after.
I don't
is
know
my
enough to
fault.
say about the real world Yakuza, but at least the Yakuza in my world would just tell you, like, we don't want to meet you.
Okay, would any of us know that, or
you would be the person who would have the most chance of knowing, Mr. Underworld Expert?
Okay, then
I mean,
I will say
Dimitri
Edwin
technically
does know
would
that.
probably have known too, because
I mean,
his part of his background was like knowing stuff about the underworld, but he's gone off to found the monastery.
I mean, background, I probably know at least something. I probably know at least something based on background.
We'll tell you what. Do me investigation, maybe.
All right.
You can do one as well. Edwin.
Oh, me. Okay.
Oh, okay.
All right.
All right. Yeah. Between the two of you, share the brain cell, and you figure out. Yeah. So the Yakuza are pretty honorable in their own way. So if they were behind it, either they just come out and say, we don't want to talk to you about it, or they would agree to the formal meeting, and you say, "This is why we're here," and they'll say, "That was one of ours," and talk to you about paying a blood price.
Mm.
Okay, so then that means we don't need to be worried about it being a
Big-
trap.
The biggest problem is
If-
communication barrier, but other than that, we should be fine.
If they were going to kill you, they wouldn't let you know. They just kill you. They'd walk up behind you in a street and shoot you in the back and keep walking.
Okay.
They wouldn't wait to seat you down in a formal setting, serve you tea and snacks, go through a whole ceremony just to ambush you and kill you. That's a samurai thing.
All right. So with that in mind, what's the plan?
Well, first talk to them. Get their go ahead, I guess. Then we go person finder, I guess.
You also, during this time you're waiting for the letter, probably decide if you want to bring an NPC and who.
Okay.
Could try Elizabeth. Might be a bit of an insult for her, though.
Elizabeth, if she's selling things on the black market, she might know more about if the Yakuza seem like they've been having difficulties with this as well, too.
Elizabeth is the blood mage.
Yeah, I know who NPCs
Oh,
are.
Annabeth is the black market dealer.
I was mixing them up. That's
Yeah.
my bad.
Fair, I guess.
So you want to try to contact Elizabeth?
I mean, we could do that or Annabeth. What do you guys think?
I think either would be fine.
Let's give Elizabeth a call first. She still owes us for helping her out end those drought mines.
True, that's why I was thinking about her in the first place.
So you guys call up Elizabeth. So she picks up. Hello?
Oh god, who's on the phone?
I'm very convincing, and this is my dumb fucking quest, so I guess that'll be me. Hey, hi. Very nice to speak to you again. Remember that one time that you lost your very scary knife down in the Underdark and I fucking died? Can you help us with something real quick?
Who is this?
This is Fritz.
The
hot one.
Yeah, a little scrawny one, little pale scrawny.
The spiders and things, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. How is that going?
It's not going anymore, that's for damn sure.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Things just
so-
simply keep happening in my life. But how are you doing? What's your state of affairs right now? Are you busy?
Well, I'm bargaining for a vial of blood from a wyvern in a little bit, but can it wait a few hours?
Oh, I can definitely wait a few hours. That's perfectly fine. I mean, we have to so do you by chance, perchance and perhaps, do you speak Japanese?
I mean,
Also, I'm pretty sure that she was she Irish? I'm pretty sure she was Irish.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I don't know if you guys ever figured out the relationship between Elizabeth and Annabeth.
I don't care. They can be gal pals in my brain.
Okay, cool. So, yeah, she is Irish. She says, well, I don't... Not yet. Give me an extra half hour.
the world is your oyster, as it were. We might be waiting
Well, okay.
a day
I
or so on this.
I need to acquire a few materials, and it's not gonna last too long, but it should be enough to get us through.
Yeah, I mean, okay, whatever you need to do.
Cool. So what does this favor involve besides speaking Japanese?
It involves maybe some bloodshed, maybe
I'm always down for bloodshed.
maybe a little bit of diplomacy, just a little bit, but you wouldn't necessarily have to do that part if you didn't want to. And plague cult. Ooh, very
Oh.
scary.
Uh,
And
oh, you're taking on them.
oh, do you know who the fuck we're dealing with? Because
I
I don't give
mean,
a shit about the grand scheme of things at this moment. I need to kill one particular motherfucker.
gotcha. I don't know them in person, but everyone's heard about this rash of plagues going around.
Mm.
So, to say that I know of them. But, yeah, they're kind of harshing my style. So, yeah, I'd be willing to pitch in for that.
Yeah, get rid of a lot of dirty blood.
Do you... I see what you did there. Do you need anything? Should I bring some stuff? I know some people. I mean,
if you feel like getting other people involved in this, I mean, hey guys, do we want more people? I feel like it's, kind of a bit of a smaller crew job, but if they, if it turns out to be a bigger crew job, then
so reminder: you have Elizabeth, Annabeth, you have all the people from Swobold. You guys could ask Missy for a favor. You have the people of Swobold includes Cleo. There's a few mercenaries you guys know of that you can always hire.
Sorry.
Isn't tight.
Thanks, guys.
Not for nothing, but might want to keep it small since we're going into someone's territory.
You know that Spider and Grim are both for hire for the right price.
you know what, Liz? You just bring your beautiful self.
Okay. Sure. How's 5 o'clock sound?
Sounds perfect. You can come over to
like
ours
noon
for dinner.
right now.
Yep,
Okay.
that's it. Yep.
Sounds good. I'll see you then.
Yep, see you. Oh, wait, hold on. New address. Fancy new address. Give her the one for the old mansion, not the new mansion.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
we'll do her. We'll prank her. We'll go to the new mansion. They'll be like, "Oh my god, where are you?"
Oh my god, you went to the
wrong
wrong
address.
mansion.
That's so embarrassing for you.
Okay. All right. Got it.
All
See you
right.
then.
See you then.
Listen, Fritz. Whatever's going on, we'll take care of it.
Oh yeah, no, I have no fears about that. That's damn fucking sure.
Okay. All right. Talk to you soon.
Blows a kiss over the phone and hangs up.
Okay.
All right. How long did she say we had till she showed up?
5 hours.
She had some business to take care of, and she had to gather some materials. So you're looking at like 5 hours ish.
All right.
Maria, while you were doing this phone call, Maria has written the message and sent it off to be delivered.
Oh, okay. That was easy.
While we're waiting, I had a thought.
Yeah, when you have underlings, you can just tell them to go do stuff.
Yeah.
What was your thought?
Bit bigger than that. You know how we kind of jumped town? I mean, also to punch a spider in the face, but because there's some shit going down at the speakeasy.
Yeah.
I'm
What
not
was the-
saying, remember the whole cursed drinks turn people blue?
That. Okay, got it. We're on the
Yeah,
same page.
Mr. Inspector Ford. I'm just saying, we've been out of town for a bit, and we probably want to make sure that's all tied up with a nice bow while we're busy.
Well, I think it has to do with what the Falcones are doing, so that would be on the opposite side of town.
All I'm saying is, perhaps we outsource keeping things busy.
The Yakuza might be interested in finding out who's turning people
Yeah.
blue.
I mean, them aside, I thought something a bit bigger with wings.
The
Talk
dragons.
Listen, I'm not saying we getting big with them. I am saying they're a big player in town that can do things that we can't.
But
Yeah,
one of the
And
dragons came to our bar with the inspector. They must be on good terms already.
But it wasn't a dragon, it was one of their disciples, if I remember correctly.
I thought it was the speaker of the dragon
yeah,
who
but
lives to the north of us.
yeah, but it's important that she's not on the Falcon's payroll. She's there on the behalf of the dragons. So what if we make sure that Falcons can't play hooky by making sure the dragons are going to make sure they stay cool?
Didn't you guys stir some shit between the dragons and was it the Montellos?
No, you're thinking about the vampire thing, I think.
No, you
Vampires
stirred
and
shit between the
Falcons?
Falcons and the vampires, but one of you started a rumor that one of the other families was, I think it was the Renzettis, were buying up Dragonbane bullets.
Did we?
I believe so.
Oh,
You guys
I
started
don't
shit
remember
with
that.
every single family.
I mean,
No,
yes,
we
but
Yeah, I have no memory of that, but if that's what happened, then
It's in my notes.
okay.
all right. Well,
Damn.
guess it was written, so it shall be.
And
Yeah,
you
I'll
guys
accept that.
also started a rumor that the Lucianos were trying to take over everyone else's rackets in the everyone else's extortion rackets in the market district.
I
My-
do
I do
remember
remember
that.
that.
Everyone is upset at everyone else right now.
No way, that's crazy.
You guys have single-handedly created the greatest period of unrest in underworld history in at least 10 years.
Yeah.
They shouldn't be such pussies about some gossip then. They would have never survived my high school.
So with that in mind, maybe we have someone keeping everyone else busy while we're away. We've already been gone, what, a week with this whole spider business.
Who do you have in mind?
Well, there was that one lady that walked in with the good inspector. Always use her as a contact and see if we can get some favorable deals.
If I remember correctly, she wasn't exactly pleased with us the last time she was in.
Well,
I think
certainly
she
the
left on cordial terms.
yeah, certainly the inspector wasn't, but she seemed more amused by current events.
She was, if I remember correctly, this has been a while. She was upset,
Mhm.
or she was doing an inquiry. Let's put it that way, into why
Yeah.
why a dragon got injured in one of your establishments.
Right.
You
And
guys
we
like
told them about the bullets.
Yeah, you guys mollified her, and then she had walked outside with, or Maria had like walked her outside, and Maria had given her an offer to like work together more. You know, kind of hinting at. Thank you.
Mhm.
Kind of hinting at like, maybe we could, make a working relationship out of this, and she was like, "Nah, I'm not about that life."
So I think if we wanted to get them on our side, pretend I said that first thing with a British accent. We, I think we may need to find more information on those bullets and who's making them or who's buying them.
I suppose. Still, with all the shit's going up in the city, it might be good to have high friends.
About having high friends last night.
You know what I mean. Speaking of, I need to get some new cigs. And I need to get more gunpowder. I suppose if we got some time, I need to make a run for some supplies if anyone else needs anything.
I think I'm good. And by that I mean I don't really have a lot of money, so I don't want to spend it all.
Fair.
Guys, you take over some more territory.
Quick question. Do I remember how much I paid for the Parafed of Health at all?
In character, yeah, probably.
Hmm.
Out
Any
of
idea what that'd
character,
be?
I don't.
Uh,
I made up a price
yeah.
on the spot, and I trusted you
Yeah,
to
that's
take it
fair.
out of your money.
And I did.
But you don't remember
And
how
I'm
much that
really,
was.
yeah. And I honestly don't think I have enough to furnish the whole gang here, unfortunately.
Well, that's what
Yeah,
the
I
log is
shattered
for.
mine because I got killed.
No, the Parafed of Health is the can't get disease thing.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the. Sham was gonna try and buy us all periapts of health.
Oh. I think
And I
I could
thought that you would.
If I had the money for that, anyways. Without knowing,
Fun
I just
fact,
need to get.
periaptive health is not an attunement item.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's fancy.
So those would be useful, but
Yep,
we used a ton of money before going
that we
after
did.
Alathorn.
Yeah.
And we didn't get any from him killing Alathorn,
I'm
unfortunately.
sorry.
I'm
It's
also
fine, it's
sorry
fine.
because I didn't think about it until after I left.
Yep. Well, with that in mind, I guess I'm just going to get gunpowder and cigarettes. I'll be back in a bit.
You better come back.
Yeah,
You're
that makes
going down to the shops
My,
for cigarettes.
yeah, my father said he was going to get.
Oh god.
Edwin will. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Yeah, I'm not doing anything. Edwin's chilling, waiting for the time to come, I guess.
Read some books on Japanese etiquette. I don't know.
Yeah, Edwin will brush up on Japanese etiquette and Yakuza etiquette.
Tell you what.
I heard your cat in the background.
Oh yeah, that's my roommate's cat.
Could have been yours if you weren't a
baby.
coward.
He meows when you have the door closed because he believes
True.
that the entire house is his, and is offended by
is.
the idea of closed doors.
I mean, it is his. You just haven't realized it yet.
Yeah. Honestly, it just kind of sounds like you're in the wrong
So,
here.
Edwin, I'm gonna roll a d20.
Uh-huh.
Out of 20, you have the exact book you need to teach you everything you need to know about Yakuza etiquette.
Cool.
Let's see a 20. Oh,
Nah.
Oh,
together
well.
they're 20.
Unfortunately, it is among the many collections of books in the library of this estate. This is not one of them.
Alrighty.
Shame.
So, some time passes, and a messenger comes back bearing a missive. It is actually written on a scroll.
Wow.
In traditional, what you would recognize as Japanese kanji, but you can't read it.
My glasses give me read, comprehend languages.
Okay, so the symbol seemed to. I assume you cast it, so
Yeah,
symbol
yeah, it's like a 10-minute
swim
thing.
and like rearrange. The ink seems to like almost rearrange itself in your vision into more legible for you characters, and it says, "We will welcome an envoy from your family. Meet at the street market by the Buddha statue. Your contact
Uh,
will be there."
do any of us know where that is?
Not off the top of my head.
Have
Okay.
any of you in your backstory been to Little Tokyo?
Nope.
Nope.
Passing through maybe, but not been there.
Okay, well,
Cool.
I guess you'll have to get your friend translator coming along to ask around.
Alrighty.
Just for
Sorry,
paperwork's sake. Yeah.
Gray, were you trying to say something?
I think they were just yawning.
Oh, okay.
Were you good?
Sorry, Discord decided to not respond for a minute.
Okay.
No.
That was my computer spazzing the fuck out.
Okay, I
Oh,
heard you make
oh no.
noises, and I was like, were you
It's
trying to
close.
say
That
something?
was a noise of confusion because I was
Oh,
like,
okay.
er.
Okay, cool.
Oh no.
So for your paperwork,
Just for paperwork's sake, I go to the gunpowder store and buy 250 gold worth of gunpowder.
okay, that'll get you another, 5 casts?
Yep. And then give me a carton of cigs.
And a carton of cigs. Oh, what do you have in a day? We got some Lucky Strikes, some long camels. We got that stuff that the halflings are growing. It's supposed to be pretty strong. I don't know much about it, to be honest. But some people enjoy it.
You know, I got a carton of Lucky Strikes and a pack of whatever the halfling shit is.
Okay.
I'm sure
Long
someone
bucket
will
leaf.
enjoy it back home.
All right, cool. So you get half a pound of halfling weed, and that's what it's called. And or maybe it's halfling leaf, one of the two, and carton of Lucky Strikes.
All right.
So that'll set you back another. Let's see. This is that exchange rate, so it's about 2.5 gold.
All right. Case over why they're selling weed and gunpowder in the same store is questionable,
Sorry,
but who am I to say?
The halfling leaf should cost you about 15 gold.
Okay. Noted.
Yeah, that stuff's a bit more expensive than cigarettes,
Go figure.
but it's like pipe tobacco.
All right.
Cool.
We'll
So you
figure
come
out how
on
to
back,
smoke that when we get back.
and time passes unless you guys want to do any other preparations.
I have a. I'm sorry, I cut you off.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say I have a dumb, not understanding the English language question.
Well, we love
Um,
it.
Does
They
do
said
any of us
they
really?
They said that they would accept an envoy. Does that count as all of us, or is an envoy like one person?
Unclear. You got a direct translation, not any of the context. That's the problem with comprehend languages.
Worrying.
Well, if Envoy goes, they're not going to go with that bodyguard to some meeting. So,
I mean, if Maria's going, you could say that she's taking her retinue with her.
That would make sense.
She's not taking the whole crime family, just the upper leadership.
I guess that's fair. We can also ask Elizabeth when she shows up to read it
Sure.
and be sure. So yeah, Edwin will let everyone know what's written in the letter. We'll say, so they told us to meet at the street with the Buddha statue. So there'll be somebody waiting for us there.
I mean, do we know where that is?
I have no idea.
Why don't you do me an investigation for knowledge local? See if you
Okay.
know about the Buddha statue.
rolled some butts there.
Hey!
No,
That's what I'm
Walter
talking
did that.
about.
Yeah, eventually I
do
want to
that.
be city domain. I've been walking around.
All right. Yeah, so what they actually said was meet on Market Street by the Buddha statue. And you know that there is a large open-air market that takes place during the week.
Oh, yeah, they're just talking about there's like a not really a farmer's market, but there's a market.
Well,
And
all right then.
at the end of the market, there is a, like off behind it, there is a large copper Buddha statue, which is since tarnished with age, but is still there.
Cool. All right.
So, time passes, and you hear a knock on the door. Opening it up, you find Elizabeth is standing there. She has a duffel bag in one hand and is holding a shopping bag in the other. She kind of like holds up the shopping bags like, I brought Chinese.
Thank you.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah, come in, come in.
She comes in and she like starts, she goes to the, as a matter of fact, let's switch to the chateau. So you guys can place yourselves wherever. But Elizabeth comes in and she starts placing the the containers of the food on the table. It's not there. And she says, "Okay, so this is for your bellies." As she lays the food out for everyone, and she places the bag, the duffel bag, on the end of the table with a noticeable clink. And this is for everyone else.
Thanks. Oh, introductions. Over there's Edwin, and that's Maria, head of the family.
I
And,
think
out in
we.
the
And,
kitchen.
and Shamrock's not a robot anymore, so that's cool.
Oh, yeah. Hey.
Yeah, brand new body, same great heart. That's what we can say.
New, low calorie, same great taste.
Yeah, a lot of shit has happened.
I've, with shape shifting magic and everything like that in my line of work, you just kind of accept it.
Nah, fair enough.
Fair.
By the way, I think your friend over here points to Fritz. He's trying to fuck with your change blindness. Change his hair color at least once.
Huh?
What?
Oh, you talking about the stripes? You talking about because the gray stuff happened when I was with you. I just kind of kept it because I thought it looked nice. Why is it not? Is it not working?
Oh no,
I thought it
honey, it
looked
looks
dashing.
fine. It looks fine on you. If you weren't pale as the midnight, pale as the moon, I mean maybe it wouldn't work, but you pull it off.
Pale as the moon.
Yeah.
Ooh, hell. There's hell. You know what? You were not invited here to critique my fashion sense when I am personally in a little bit of a vulnerable position.
No, honey, it's fine. You look great.
I'm gonna flip her off and then turn into her. What, you like this better? Huh?
Well, I
Yeah,
mean,
shape-shifting in my line of work.
I mean, wouldn't be the first time.
All right,
just
friends. Let's tone it back a bit.
Can we fucking kill someone, please?
Speaking of, as she opens up the duffel bag and starts pulling stuff out, I brought party favors. She lays several belts of fragmentation grenades on the table.
Fragmentation. We saying the whole government, her whole government name?
There's a few grenades which I think Shamrock is the only military veteran. He would recognize as incendiary grenades. Several smoke grenades. What looks to be quite a few daggers. Several boxes of ammunition. And to top it off, some of those like drink holders for when you buy multiple drinks at a drive-through place, but they're all filled with bottles of some kind.
What you packing in those?
These are potions, but you know, when you're in a hurry, I wouldn't recommend drinking more than one. And this, as she pulls out a small vial about big enough to just fit in the palm of your hand, is for me, for when we get close. Shamrock, you are incredibly in tune to this. Everyone else should recognize it, but your eyes are latched onto it. That's blood.
Fair enough.
I mean, I guess you could too.
No,
you know,
I'm fine.
with the fangs and everything. Is that
No.
insensitive? I'm, you know.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I got my own.
Okay.
We're good.
I was gonna use it for something else, but I mean, if you're thirsty, I don't know how this is. Normally, when a fanger's this close to me, they're trying to bite my throat out. So you know.
Fanger.
Sorry, street slang. Don't worry about it.
Right. Anyways, yeah, I got my own vintage covered. We're good.
Cool. All right. So there are 8 frag grenades, 3 smoke grenades, and 2 incendiary grenades. Feel free to divvy those up as you will. There is also there are also 6 potions of lesser restoration.
Shiny.
However, they're
So I
not
guess,
the usual potion color. Yeah, sorry, did the best I could with those, but you know, blood magic and everything. So there's a little bit of troll blood in there. Don't drink more than one, and you should be fine.
I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah.
As Shamrock is now very in tune with the fact that, oh, this is all blood.
It's not all blood. It's just Mostly blood.
I don't think that's helping the fact.
And for those of you who need it,
I guess it makes a potion for each of us, and then one for Elizabeth.
Yeah, seems like it.
explosive
Motion.
devices.
So go boom. And
Oh.
faster pineapple.
So smoke grenade is a 20-foot radius cloud that provides heavily obscured area. Frag grenade is 20-foot dex saving throw, 46 piercing on a failed save or half as much on a success. And then what the other one I could tell you was an incendiary grenade is basically the same stat block, but it's fire damage instead of piercing, and it sets everything in the area on fire.
Gray Netsy's being quite rowdy over there.
Yeah, sorry.
It's okay.
Well,
I thought I
I'll,
was muted.
fine.
It's fine.
I'll grab a couple of ambassador pineapples and one instant toaster.
Gotcha.
So we had smoke bombs,
There are
grenades.
There are
and
3 smoke grenades, 2 incendiary grenades, and 8 frag grenades.
Eden will take 2 of the frag grenades and an incendiary grenade.
Go ahead and
Why
add
not?
those to your inventory. The grenades are on page 14 of the PDF of the Modern Handbook.
Okie dokie.
The daggers, they're a bit too long to be called knives that she's laid out. These are all silver because there are some Japanese monsters, they're called them yokai, that are weak to silver. Not all of them, and not always the same amount, but it's got a silvered edge.
thought.
You know, it's nice.
Fair enough. One boot knife.
Would the silver? No, that's werewolves. Never mind. I was gonna ask if it would hurt Shem, and then I realized that he's a
Shamrock
werewolf.
does not have any vulnerability to silver.
Yeah.
We're good.
He does, however, have a vulnerability to dehydration. As does
That I do.
everyone.
Yeah.
Also, you can kill him by driving a wooden stake through his heart.
Right.
Totally different to us who wouldn't die from having a wooden stake shoved through our hearts.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Wow, vampires are so unique, truly.
Yeah.
I know, right?
Also, if you drown him, he dies.
Bro, that's crazy.
Crazy.
If I'm drowned, I'm simply declared a witch.
No, if you drown, you are innocent.
Yeah, I mean,
If you don't drown, you're a
they'd
witch.
still find a way. They'd still find a way.
And then they burn you. And if you burn, you're innocent. And if you don't burn, then you're a witch.
If you float, it must be a duck. Therefore,
A witch.
a witch. I shall get to my largest scales.
So, also, so she hands out the potions to everyone. It's a lesser restoration potion. You can go ahead and add it to your inventory. Don't drink more than one per day because you'll become nauseous if you do. The guns and the sword. There's also enough ammunition here for you guys to, stock up your guns if you were putting that off and have, enough spare to not have to worry about it.
Cool. for the people that have
Uh,
guns.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing the grenade stats. You said it was 4d6?
Yeah, it's in the Modern Handbook, page 14. It's called Fragmentation.
I think I have that book.
I think it was linked somewhere.
Which definitely was.
Was it pinned?
Probably.
Hmm.
Time to search the Discord.
Yeah,
for
it's
it.
like it's pinned in 5e specific content. It's the second from the bottom post.
Good to
IV
know.
content,
yep.
Roger.
Yep, there it is.
So who has what right now? Who has how many of what?
I believe Shamrock took 2 fragmentation grenades and 1 incendiary.
Okay.
Edwin took the same.
So there are no incendiaries left on the table. There are 3 smoke grenades and 4 fragmentation grenades.
I will take a smoke grenade.
Just the 1?
Just the one.
Okay.
Last time we fucked with not having vision, I beefed it. So suffice to say, I'm not keen to repeat that particular scenario. I'd like someone to see my corpse at the ground.
Gotcha. What are we feeling formerly?
Could probably use does she have any better machine pistols than the one I have? It's not.
Uh,
It's a generic one. It's not like a +1 or anything fancy.
she didn't really bring any guns.
Oh yeah. Well, you said it was a good time for people to have guns to stockpile them.
Oh yeah, stockpile ammo. I'm sorry.
Oh, ammo.
Yeah,
No, you're good. I
She
will
brought
get.
like boxes and boxes of ammo.
Can I get 100 gold's worth of ammo?
Sure.
Holy
Absolutely.
shit.
Absolutely.
How much
Your
would that be?
boots.
If we're just doing regular ass ammo.
Isn't it? Yeah, I was about to say, isn't it like 5 silver for 20 bullets? It's like not
Well,
that expensive.
I've got a fucking machine pistol.
That is true.
So it's
I could
5.
be chugging them.
It's 5 gold pieces for martial ranged and 2 gold pieces for basic ranged. I believe it's either 2 or 3. We'll call it 2 for math, and that's 20 bullets per.
Okay.
So if you want to get 100 GPs worth, you're getting 50 times that. 50 times 20, so you're getting 1,000 bullets. I might call a little bit of shenanigans on that much, but it's basic bullets. So
I'll store some. I'm not going to bring them all with me.
Yeah, no,
I'm
I
gonna
mean you're just
keep
gonna
them in
like
my room
you're gonna put it somewhere and leave it alone, and then you're gonna grab some the next time you come back. So I'm just saving paperwork down the road. So what do I care?
Vibes.
Now
The gold-plated Versace gun that lives in my heart doesn't take physical ammo, correct?
I assume not.
Because it's got weird wording, because it says that it technically counts as a magical weapon, but only for the purpose of overcoming resistance to non-magical attacks.
Mm-hmm.
It's just...
Basically, it counts as magic to overcome DR.
Yeah, so I don't know if that means it counts as magic to not consume ammo?
So, here's the thing. Oh, no, magic guns still consume ammo. But here's the thing.
Yeah, that was my question.
In every Persona related instance, it's always been a melee weapon that they've used. So this question has never come up before. So let's make a quick ruling right here.
Because here's the thing: is they have to buy Nerf bullets for their Nerf guns in the real world to shoot real bullets in the fake world.
That's true.
I fucking hate Persona.
Oh god.
Fritz, give me a high-low.
Okay, I'll go high this time. I usually go low.
Yes or no?
No.
Okay, it does not take bullets.
Okay, cool. So I'm good on ammo then. I just didn't know The gold-plated Versace gun that lives
it's
in my
still
heart.
you
and
still
didn't
have to
know it.
reload it, but that's just like
Yeah, that's just for action
that's just
economy
for action
purposes.
economy. Yeah, it's you don't actually load any bullets into it, but the action is
I've
still used up.
never used this before, but I really want to use it.
Now, if you want to go out of your way to load acid, cold, fire, holy, silver, blah 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 bullets into it, we can work with that too. But for now, I'll say basic bullets. It just makes them, I guess. Like in the Persona 5 Royal, where it just gives you bullets. You know, like it ought to.
So true, kid.
It's the world of imagination. You'd think that you wouldn't have to worry about things like reloading.
Oh. Well, rip. Looks like no Jess.
No.
The background music or sounds or whatever sound like sirens.
Yeah, it's just like
Oh,
city
there.
sounds.
I keep thinking that there's sirens going by outside of my house, and I'm like, what? What is going on outside? And then I remember the audio.
Yeah. So Jess will take one smoke grenade.
Fair enough.
I will add a smoke grenade to Jess's inventory. She won't remember it, but
All right, I grabbed this.
it's like one day she'll be like reading her inventory, like
Where did I get this?
when did I get a smoke grenade?
Rick, when you get a hand
Use it
grenade?
forever.
And we won't remember by then either, so we'll be like, I don't know.
And none of us are willing to listen through multiple episodes worth of games
Yeah, each 3 hours
to find
long.
where we got things.
Rick,
I
where'd you
still
get the hand
have
grenade? I
200
don't know.
something gold worth of gems that I just said I was going to do something with and haven't. Thank you, Formerly. Kiss, kiss, kiss.
Well, I still have my gem waiting for emergency revivify.
Okay.
Ooh, tip tap type get their ass.
Tap. All right.
Sorry, it's a mechanical keyboard. And
Yep.
I moved my mic over so it's closer to my keyboard now, so it's doing all kinds of shit.
It's fine.
You said the incendiary grenades did the same damage as the frag grenades. Is that right?
Yes.
Yep, but it's fire.
These ones are juiced up. So it's
Cool.
still 46. It's still a dex save, but it sets everything on fire.
Tight.
So yeah, I'll kind of be careful with that in an enclosed room.
It'll be fine. What's the worst I could possibly... Oh, there goes
Hold
that
on.
building.
Hold on, just like right there, stop. And then at a later point in time, I'm going to make you say the word happen so that we can make a smash cut.
Oh,
Pro
God.
editor right here.
Just, why do I feel like I'm playing a character from 2 campaigns ago?
Oh boy. All right. So if that's everything, Cleo gives you some snacks for the road. Because of her chef feat, if you guys consume them as part of a short rest, I believe, you gain an extra 4 temporary HP.
Yeah. Temp HP.
Oh no, I think you just consume them. Yeah, it's if you eat a meal she preps as part of a short rest, you get an extra like D8 or something like that. But you can just consume the snack for an extra 4 temp HP.
Sweet.
Mom packed
Yep.
you a lunch.
I misspelled snacks as snacks, and I'm not changing it.
Okay, sounds good.
Oh man, my mom only packs me snacks. I wish she packed me snacks.
Do you ever
Alright,
think about the fact that you can milk a snake?
No.
You can get snilk.
I don't like this line of thought. I hate it even.
All right. So, ladies, gentlemen, other, are we ready to go?
Well,
Seems
I
like.
am.
don't see much else to do.
Cool. In that case, we are off.
All
Wow,
those,
went from concrete to flagstone.
all these like
Actually, let's,
tarps and stuff. I thought it was nachos when I first saw it.
Oh my
As you
god.
do.
Oh, no, we're in little Tokyo. You want nachos? You go to little Mexico.
Make sure you guys fit in the squares. Cool. So you guys can pick your marching order, whatever.
I'm where I am.
Edwin will not be in the front. He is going to stay in the back where he belongs.
Fair enough.
Cool. If everyone's fine with your marching order, so the Buddha statue is on the other side of the market. However, despite the fact that I have Kingdom Hearts 1, the area, it is densely packed. There are
Okay.
people milling about, doing, making trades, people shouting for, in, various dialects of Japanese, Chinese, Korean. Despite the fact they call it Little Tokyo, this is kind of the Asian market. So they all kind of blend together. So Elizabeth says, right, so just give me a minute. And she uncorks the vial and swirls it around and then shoots it back like a shot and swallows, goes, ugh. That always feels weird. And then she...
Shamrock watching raptly.
So, yeah, you might actually want to learn to do this. So there's a spell I can teach you that lets you assimilate the language of the person whose blood you drink. But it has to be pretty fresh. That's why I said extra half hour as she holds up the empty vial. Well, with residue in it, but she corks it and sticks it inside her jacket pocket. All right. Ugh, okay, we're ready.
All right, stick close, and Shamrock will take the lead.
Yeah, she'll go up to the
Suppose.
front with you, just so that she can interpret.
Sure.
As you walk, you are constantly accosted by vendors wanting to sell you things. There's one very insistent man. You sir, umbrella, very good umbrella. You buy.
Don't need it. And just move along.
No, normally 5 silver for you. Special 4 silver.
I'm
That
good.
must seem really special to him, Shamrock.
I can only imagine.
As you get to about there's a person who walks along and bumps into you, carrying a plate of fish.
Observant. Did anything happen?
They stole your wallet.
Does anyone else notice them stealing his wallet?
I think Shamrock's the only one who needs to notice. But yeah, he pickpocketed you. He is,
Hey, kid.
He's gotten like 2 steps away.
Hey, you with the fish.
He kind of like turns around looking for someone saying something weird.
Elizabeth, translate for me.
Okay.
Hey, you with the fish.
She repeats it back in Japanese. It's really weird seeing an Irish woman speaking fluent Japanese, but that's magic for you.
That's magic, baby.
The kid turns around and looks at her.
Hey, you. And I sort of wave him over to us.
He takes one look at you, waving, and starts running.
Light and glare.
Can I-
He needs to make a dex check.
Shamrock, he is a kid.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'll roll
he's
this
a
in front of you.
Kid.
He's got to roll a 15 or higher
Going
to
for
pass this save.
aiming for non-lethal.
You can't non-lethal lightning, Shamrock.
Says you.
Can we just have me mage hand the wallet out of his pocket instead?
Okay, he's like 3 steps away. You could just tackle him.
Fine, I'll take the non. Alright, I'll just charge after him, I guess.
Okay, so you run after him, and he tries to like juke around you. Oh, he does actually pretty good at avoiding you, and so he rushes up this way.
Ah, hell. Well, I'm chasing.
Yeah, Elizabeth goes after.
We're coming behind.
Yeah.
As he gets to around here, an arm like sticks out, clotheslines him as he flops
damn.
onto the ground.
Get his ass.
A well manicured set of toes in a very expensive looking sandal steps onto his chest, and she looks up and says something in Japanese to Shamrock, which I'll go ahead and move Gray and formally, I assume.
Oh, yes, sorry.
Elizabeth replies in Japanese, and then she says, "I tell the kids around here not to steal from foreigners all the time," as she leans over and pulls your wallet out of the kid's pockets and tosses it to you. What are you gonna do, kids? Am I right?
Well, that's say life free, I suppose.
Yeah. So, she is obviously Japanese, but she is, her accent is pretty light in her English.
So probably like second gen or something like that.
She pulls the kid up by his shirt, dusts him off, and almost bodily throws him down the alley. Like, get out of here, kid. She walks over and says, "Name's Shippo, and you are?"
Shamrock, and these are the Bianchi gang. Or Bianchi family, yeah.
I was told there'd be a Maria?
Steps aside.
Yeah, that's me. Okay. I thought you'd be taller.
At her
She
what?
recently
7 feet tall.
Yeah. From the stories,
Right.
you know. 10 feet tall, shoots lightning from your eyes, the usual stuff.
7-foot frame rats all on her back.
Well, when she calls her name, Hellface is black.
Uh, so Elizabeth steps up and they bow to each other. It's been a long time. Elizabeth kind of gives her a look and says, not as long as for some. Fair
Damn.
enough. This way.
Small old town.
She takes a moment to step up and stick a copper piece in the Buddha's bowl as she walks by.
Yeah, Shamrock follows suit. He's got money.
Yeah, Elizabeth also does. It is
Yeah, I'll-
considered the height of social responsibility of Maria will as well. That's a copper piece. To give a
I'll get
donation
nothing.
to the poor.
Edwin also will.
Okay.
I'll leave-
Everybody does.
I was gonna say I'm gonna leave 5 gold in there, but I'm gonna try to do it like when it's not like I'm gonna linger in the back to do it, so it's not like I'm trying to upshow her or anything.
Gotcha. So, we leave money in the Buddha's bowl so that the poor may come and feed themselves. So it's all... I try to make a habit of stopping in at least, a few times a week and putting a little bit of money in. After all,
Amiable.
if you're from a wealthy family, you can afford the money, right?
Fair statement.
So she leads you off down an alleyway. And you guys eventually come to... She says, okay, so we are going to... so this is a little place that I know of. Outside you could see hanging up on a sign in English and Japanese that says Jade Blossom Tea House.
Huh.
We'll be meeting here.
Anything we should know about your associates before we go in?
I'm pretty sure that you've met at least one of them before. She has spoken of you. Although, I won't repeat what she said.
Not great, evidently.
Not flattering.
Yeah, fuck.
Her mood varies. However, we are going to meet the head of the family, and so it's best if the head of your family and her second are the ones to go in.
Dwarf's gonna be second.
Who is your consigliere or your capo would be the ones to go in.
I think the capo is Fritz. Consigliere is the person with the money, right?
It's an advisor.
Okay.
I
don't
know.
remember.
The tradition.
I know I'm one of them and Sham's the other, but
Oh,
I don't
okay.
Whatever.
remember which one.
I thought Edwin was the consigliere.
That's
Oh,
what I
wait,
thought.
yeah, no, you're right.
So, Elizabeth and her have gone off to while you guys are having your huddle, they're just talking over here. So consigliere is the advisor, but the tradition in Chicago is that they are also the treasurer, basically.
Okay, then that's Edwin.
because it's someone who, by law, but by mob law, the consigliere cannot be a member of the family. It has to bring in new ideas and new blood, and so it keeps down the corruption by just expediting the like funds being misappropriated by, oh yeah, he's my cousin or something like that. This is someone outside the family who comes in and does it. So, either your consigliere, who is your advisor, or your second in command, which would be one of your capos. I believe it might have been Shamrock was the second in command, although I'm not positive.
So funny thing, Dimitri was the capo. I'm looking at the notes here.
Well,
Oh my god. That's like
So I
he's been
suppose we
gone for a
either.
while. We should have done this earlier.
well, it'd be like that.
So anyone a field promotion or?
So Fritz is the underboss.
I mean that sounds good, right?
Yeah. So Maria's the boss. Fritz is the underboss. Edwin is your consigliere. Dimitri's your capo, which would be like your captain. And then Shamrock and formerly our soldiers. Now, Capo has freed up, so you guys can feel free to promote however you want inside that. But you can only ever have one boss, one underboss, and one consigliere. By tradition.
So that would mean our choices for sending someone in would be me, Sham, or Formally.
I mean,
Is that right?
you don't
'Cause
have
they
to. You can
want.
send anyone in you want. She's just
Oh,
saying,
okay.
I recommend this.
I mean, I don't know much about social occasions, but if things get tense, I can at least make sure that Marie gets out.
My vote was gonna be for Mr. Bard over here. However, I mean, if you think you can muscle in the background, then
I certainly don't mind going in, but I don't want to. If someone else feels that they're better off going instead, then I'm fine with that.
yeah. But your whole thing is like knowing the ins and outs of like all this shit. So
Yeah, I suppose knowledge might be the better winner than brawn here. You want to, Edwin? I'll support you, but if not, I can go.
I was gonna say usually if there's somebody who's going in with acting as the brawn, they're not doing typically very well in the conversation.
Well, then I'll try my best. Hopefully you don't hear any gunfire in the meantime.
I'll keep an ear out, and I.
All right, everyone will accompany Maria.
All right, Maria, good luck. And with a pat on her shoulder, I'm casting a Shield of Faith.
Okay.
Edwin's also going to inspire Maria. Just be like, this is our first real, like, crime negotiation thing. This is so cool. You're going to do great. I believe in you.
Okay. So, so Shippo says, the rest of you can follow me. So she leads you this way. I'll go ahead and move Fritz, because gray. So she says, the rest of you can be seated over here. She gestures to this area.
is the whole map black for anyone else?
No, just you.
Cool. I'll refresh.
Yeah, I can see. I feel like I remember there was token shenanigans going on with Fritz before too,
Yeah.
Probably.
Well,
in like previous sessions, so that might be something about it.
And you know, in hindsight, that's probably the good combination of people to not go into a meeting, considering it's the 2 new bloods versus the 3 that were on the mission that went south.
Yeah.
That is true. We didn't think about that.
it just was a happy accident.
Stumbled right into that.
Okay,
Oh, I see my token, but my token is still just vibing in the void.
Try moving it.
Oh, wow, that really did work.
It be
That's
like that.
stupid.
I'm actually surprised by that. That's cool.
So am I.
You're just updating the request for information, basically. Yeah. So there's
Oh god, this.
there's a handful of like guys in here eating like small rice cakes and drinking tea. They look up as you enter, and they scream like bodyguard, and so they just kind of give you a nod.
I thought that they started screaming. You
Listen,
said they
I get it.
scream, and I was like, "What?
Listen, I'm a vampire. Get used to it.
Are we? Is this the invasion of the body snatchers? What did they do?"
So Elizabeth also comes in, and she sits down on the porch and just kind of like stares at the trees. Despite the fact that these are in bloom, it is winter.
Okay, I'm just gonna take a step outside and have a smoke. Don't mind me.
Okay. Shamrock, you know what time it is. I need a constitution save.
Oh boy. That's 19 for you.
You are not addicted to cigarettes yet. The save is
Yes,
very
I
low,
must.
but once you fail it, it gets real hard to avoid.
Given. Oh, I'm just gonna stand here, smoking my cigarette, and totally not watching everything. Totally, definitely.
Cool.
Not on high alert.
So, Shippo leads the two of you in, and you see sitting. She bows and says something in Japanese to the old lady seated. She is sitting seiza, which is the kind of like a ceremonial sitting position where you're kind of sitting on your shins, basically. And she is concentrating right now on the pot of tea over the fire. But she leans down to Edwin and says, "Do either of you speak Japanese?"
No.
Right, okay. And she stands back up and bows again, and then just kind of like walks over here and sits down. And
I see.
she's like, is there as an interpreter.
I see. Edwin will also bow and then sit in the same style, I guess.
Okay. It's uncomfortable for you.
I
But
can imagine.
compared to squatting in the snow while your father hits you with sticks to harden up your body, you'll live.
Yeah, but physical harm is not something he's unfamiliar with.
What a
It's-
wonderful childhood.
It's uncomfortable, but you'll live with it. Maria looks. From what I know of Jess's character, I'm gonna say that Maria looks very. She like tries her best to bow, to be polite. She doesn't do quite the perfect bow, like the two of you did, and she sits awkwardly, and maybe kind of as the conversation goes by, kind of, sort of casually slides into a cross-legged position, but she's fine casual about that.
I see.
She's trying, but I don't feel like Maria is one of those people. Maybe I'll be corrected. Who would like be comfortable sitting that way the entire time, or even like able to stand the uncomfortable of it.
Got it. I will take your word for it.
So, you guys recognize these two people, I hope.
I feel like I do. They were involved with the shooting thing, right?
This is...
Or no, they were at the mansion, right? The Luciano mansion, weren't they?
Okay, so, uh, no, actually, neither of you would have seen them.
Yeah, because I know that they were at the
Neither of you
bar.
were in the jailbreak either.
Were we not?
Nope, I don't
I thought
think
that was
so.
the first time Edwin was around, that either of us were around. I thought it was the jailbreak.
I was still Francis.
That was still Francis, I believe.
Oh.
No, that was the first game that was played with Maria. I'm pretty sure that was also the first game that Edwin played because they came on at the same time. So that was our
Yeah.
last mission from the
From the Lucianos.
Lucianos.
Yeah, that's correct.
Lucianos.
So you would recognize Kimiko.
Okay.
She is the clan heir
Okay.
to the Takedas.
But we do not recognize Mimi.
You might not recognize Mimi, although knowledge of Underworld might give you an idea. Do me an investigation.
No.
Oh, I need to do Maria. Duh. Nope.
Also no.
So you guys don't know who she is. Luckily, you have Shippo here to help you, and she says, "This is Mimi. That's sorry. That's her mob name, but this is Takeda Mimi. She is the clan elder of the Takeda clan in this area, and that is Takeda Kimiko, the clan heir of the Takeda clan. Mimi has got that old lady, always looks like she's got a sour face attitude going on, and she aggressively pokes the fire and mutters something in thick Japanese. Like, I'm not talking like thick as in accent, I'm talking like this is old Japanese, like before the modern Japanese, the dialect before. And
I see.
It'd be like the difference between speaking Middle English and regular English.
Got it.
And so she says, so Shippo turns back to you and says, so, Mimi, sorry, Takeda-san asks why you are here in her territory. So
should I speak or should I let
yeah,
Maria?
I'm gonna let you do the talking, and we'll say that you and Maria are talking because I'm not gonna talk. I'm not gonna put words in her mouth unless I need to like step in for some reason. So I'll let you do the talking, and we'll assume that it's the two of you talking.
Okay. Edwin, yeah, he'll chime in, or one of us will chime in and say, "We apologize for such short notice on this meeting. We have something important we'd like to discuss with you. Um, you may have heard the rumors of disease being spread throughout this city, separate from the Spanish flu that is currently ravaging the country."
Pause for just a second as Shippo
Yep.
translates. Continue.
We don't know if this has been affecting you at all or not. We don't tend to interfere with the Yakuza and their territory, but we have reason to believe that the perpetrator may be in or around Little Tokyo. We were wondering if you may know anything of this.
Shippo translates your question, and Kimiko kind of like glances off to the side. staring out a window, and Mimi pours some tea and goes through a very intricate ceremony while making it, and then hands a cup to Maria, and Shippo kind of like subtly whispers and guides you through the tea ceremony.
Edwin will do his best to follow and
Yeah,
not fuck it up.
she's trying. She's helping you like not embarrass yourself.
Great. Perfect.
It's not going to like upset her if you do it bad. You're just gonna look worse in her eyes because like these people don't even know how to act.
Right, sure.
But she guides you through the tea ceremony, and you guys eventually have your tea. And
Edwin, being English, is familiar with tea. Does this give me any bonus points in looking good?
you're familiar with a different kind of tea, but I'll say that it will give you some brownie points in her respect because you know how
Yeah,
to.
plus $5 tea rolls.
Hell
Plus-
yeah.
Plus 5 to all tea rolls. If I call it for a tea roll, you get plus 5 to it.
Hell yeah.
So Mimi talks to Shippo again, and this time Kimiko like grimaces in disgust and looks away. Or she like looks at her in surprise and then grimaces and looks away when Mimi gives her like a reproachful look.
Okay.
And Shippo, her eyes, you can't see because she's wearing a mask, but her eyes widen behind the mask, and she leans over and whispers to you. So, it seems like, Takeda-san is, it's like the Takeda-sama because she is the head of the clan. But she is willing to, give you access to the area where this group is, this plague cult. But you must take Kimiko along, Kimiko-san along, and you'll have to promise that you'll wipe them out.
These people have done a great deal of damage and harm, not just to those residing in our territory, but those that we care about very deeply. We can assure you that we will not leave a trace of them left. And we are very grateful to you for giving us the opportunity to pursue this task.
Shippo translates, and Mimi says something back, and she turns to you and says, the matriarch understands honor, and it reflects well upon your house. I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with how you run your organization. It reflects well on your house that you hold duty and honor and such high prestige. Or such high priority.
Thank you for these kind words. We will need to perform some magic to narrow down the location of these cultists, but with your permission, we will do so
As
with
you
utmost
start
haste.
talking and she's translating, she the Takeda clan elder Mimi, she waves off and just barks something at Shippo and says, Takeda-sama already knows where your cult is. And she continues, oh dear. It's on Yokai Street.
Is this a particularly infamous area of this area of the city?
So,
Wasn't bad
do
way
a
of
mere
saying that.
religion check.
Hell yeah, I know so much about religion.
You do know. You know a lot about religion. She rolled a nat 20.
Hell yeah, we both know what Yokai Street's about.
So yokai is a Japanese spirit. Uh, it is not. It is often translated in anime and stuff like that as demon, but that's not accurate. A yokai is a spirit of a thing or concept or place. Uh, it doesn't necessarily have to be a malignant spirit, but it is generally an otherworldly entity, necessarily. So it's often translated as demon, as like a used phrase. But like, for example, in Inuyasha, like they were still human-ish, but they was translated as demon.
Got
So
it.
in the yokai, so they don't separate their So in Little Tokyo and in Japan, they don't separate out their uh, supernatural world from their mundane world, in the same way that, say, demons and devils and fae and stuff like that keep themselves kind of separate from the material plane. So you can just go down a particular street and enter into the yokai district where all the yokai live.
Oh, so it's a literal name.
Yeah, it's yokai. It's yokai market where the yokai go to, like, do their trade. So you can buy, like, you know, a horned rabbit heart, or you know, the wisps of a Bakeneko, or you know, the strands of like a the corpse of a lantern yokai, or all sorts of stuff. You could also trade for, you know, a soul, or someone's, you know, memories, stuff like that. It's the extra special market, which caters to not just regular stuff, but the things that someone who's not necessarily human would also require or want.
Okay.
And the yokai district is not really regulated by the Yakuza. Like, everything else is, Yakuza has his hand in it somewhere. They don't mess with the yokai because that's not good for business.
I see.
When someone can grow to 20 feet tall and crush your entire house, and there's nothing you could do to stop them, you don't tend to bother them.
I see.
It's kind of a respect thing. You know, they have, just like, you know, any other human or elf or anything like that has old families. The yokai have old families, and they police themselves.
Okay. So,
And because it's a haven for anyone who's outcast from society, the plague cult's just kind of setting up shop there.
okay. Well, us
Or not
all
a
being,
haven, but you know what I mean, like a place where they could go.
us being mostly not human, that ought to be good for us, right?
Yeah, I mean, you're
We'll,
not,
we'll fit right in.
as far as they're concerned, you're all Ningen, which is human, is the literal translation, but it's you're mortal, you're, you know, stuff like that, except for Fritz. Formerly's true form probably would blend in just fine.
Oh, okay.
Edwin, Maria, and Shamrock look pretty normal, so they just assume that you're human. Like, pure
Got
human.
it.
Maria
I
is
see.
a half-elf, but...
As is Edwin.
Yeah, and Edwin. But slightly pointed ears, and, you know, eye shape is not enough.
Got it. So then
If you
we'll
had,
need...
like, antlers or something, that would be a distinguishing feature, but otherwise you just look human or human-ish.
Got it. So we'll be somewhat unwelcome there, is what I'm hearing.
Not necessarily. I mean, anyone's welcome to come in and spend money.
I see.
But you might, just like, they might deal with some discrimination and racism against bigoted people in your world, you're going into their world, and there might be some, closed-minded individuals who are discriminatory against you.
Okay, got it.
And, I assume part of this is you asking clarification questions, and Shippo is helping you out.
Sure, yeah. Okay. Then I guess Edwin will say, we thank you for your assistance with this, and we will leave to begin this task immediately. And thank you again for granting us this audience.
Shippo translates and then stands up and motions for you guys to do the same. And she bows deeply and kind of gives you guys the side eye.
Yeah, Edwin will also.
Maria,
he'll monkey see, monkey do.
Maria will copy, and then the four of you, because Kimiko has to come with you, will leave.
Okay. We'll go and meet up with everybody else, I'm guessing, right?
Yep. So it's been 10 minutes or so of time has passed, and Shippo and the rest come walking back up.
Shamrock's just going to stick his head in. Hey, look alive. Time to go.
Oh, alrighty, alright.
Edwin will chime in and say, well, we've got our permission to hunt down the cult, and we have some directions.
All right.
Apparently, we're looking for Yokai Street. That is where the cultists have made camp, so to speak.
And do I recognize Kimiko?
You definitely would.
Does it look like she recognizes me?
Not really, no.
Okay, good.
You are not made
Let's
of
keep it
metal.
that way. Let's keep it that way.
You're not a metal man anymore. You're good.
That is fair. All right.
Fritz and Formerly have also transformed at least somewhat. I know Formerly tends to kind of keep the same form-ish. But, you got battle scars now, and you've seen some shit. You got a bit of darkness behind your eyes, so you carry yourself differently too, because you're hiding 4 extra arms.
That's true.
Casually.
As you do. And Fritz looks completely different, so.
Not completely different. He just has longer hair.
And stripes.
And stripes. No, he had the stripes by the time we were at that point.
Did he?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because he got the stripes when Francis was still with the gang.
Okay. Kimiko, even if she did look in your direction, is really pissed that she has to go out and join you guys on this, so she is not paying attention too closely.
All right.
We might want
Let's
to
keep it that way.
apologize to her at some point.
She's less pissed at the fact that she has to go with you, but the fact that she has to go with you.
Right. It's less the us and more the going part.
Yeah, it's why do I have to go clean up their mess?
I see.
I don't think we did anything wrong.
Aren't we kind of also doing them a solid since they also want the cultists gone?
I mean, they want them gone, but they've been living with them this long.
I guess that's true. That's fair.
Yeah. All right. So as our party grows once more again.
So Shippo tells you, I can guide you to the yokai market, but then I must return to attend to Obasama.
Right. Yokai market.
Yeah, it's a literal meaning of the word. It's a market filled with all of the
Those supernatural pricklies.
Yeah, all of the non-humans that might want to live in Little Tokyo.
Right.
Or less human-looking things. And that includes things like spirits. So we ought to be careful.
Interesting. All right. Well,
Should we try to fit in a little bit? Well, at least,
I think if you informally turned into your undisguised selves,
Oh, yeah, we'd
that would
probably fit in as
that would
yokai.
fit in very well. Yes.
Yeah, that's not really a problem. It's kind
well,
of
it's
stuff
certainly
he's
a
keeping it
choice.
on anyway.
Okay. So,
Either way, I guess.
okay. So I'm just gonna copy paste. So she drags you off to the yokai market.
That's a big skeleton.
That is a big skeleton.
Damn.
Oh, it's the Juggadoggeroggadogado.
Excuse?
It's a lot for you to say.
It's Juggadoggeroggadogado.
Jagagagagagagag.
It's been a while since
Gargarogno.
it's been a while since I've been in school. I haven't had to read about what are they called? It starts with
You
a
got it.
J.
You
Jimbo.
nailed it. You got it the first time.
Jimmy
Jagagag.
Neutron. His name is now Jimmy
Jagagagagag.
Neutron.
Big Japanese skeleton boy.
Oh, I have no idea. I have no clue what you're
Oh,
talking
I was
about.
not thinking. I was thinking of a different thing.
You were probably thinking
I
of the
was-
Jorogumo, which is a spider.
Yeah, it was
demon.
a spider, a big sexy spider lady.
Leave it to Fritz. Always have spiders on the mind.
That's Greg.
Yeah, it's fair.
Leave it to Greg to be
Brain
thinking
no
about
works so
sexy
good.
bugs.
What you may be thinking of is the Gashadokuro, the giant
Yeah.
the giant skeleton,
Yeah.
15 times larger than an average person.
Did you pull up a Wikipedia page, bitch?
Maybe.
Is that what that skeleton is? Is it alive and moving around?
That is actually the skeleton of a large demon.
Oh.
And I'm not
Oh.
talking about a yokai. I'm talking like an actual demon from the
Oh, so we're
abyss.
going Doom style on this?
First off, wild that they have an actual skeleton, because when you kill an outsider, it goes back to its home plane.
Oh.
Listen,
Yeah.
listen, you find ways to trophy hunt.
So she says, so Shippo turns to you, and like you guys turned around and were like looking around, and when you turned back, she had like 3 kitsune tails waving behind her, and says, "Listen, I need to go. I'm not supposed to be in here too long. However, the individuals in question have taken over the bathhouse at the end of the street." She points to the giant skeleton where you could see, like, if you walk through the mouth, it goes into
Okay.
a building.
So cool.
I mean, when you can make aesthetic, you know what I'm saying?
I suppose.
It's so gender.
Can Elizabeth still translate for Kimiko so that we're not just like unable to communicate?
Yep, her language thing is permanent.
Oh shit. Okay.
Or, no, it's not permanent. I'm sorry. It's not a concentration. My apologies. It lasts for like 24 hours, so it's plenty of time.
Neat.
Okay. Cool.
I took that spell away later once.
Yeah, you're gonna have to learn some
I get
blood
it.
magic, but yeah.
I mean, while you're drinking it, might as well make some magic out of it.
Yep. There's all
Make
kinds of
some-
things you can do with someone's blood.
Yeah, make some gunpowder blood magic. Here we go.
That's why they have spells to make inert blood. So yeah, Shippo like turns and like quickly, almost with like fearful steps, like quickly makes her way out.
I see.
Like she's
Why do
not,
I get the feeling
she's not supposed to be here, even
Why
though
do I
she
get
is a
the-
yokai.
Why do I get the feeling she just left us in the lion's den?
Of
I
course
think
she
that's-
did, handsome. But you know what they say: the lioness is the one who hunts. as she cracks her knuckles.
Right. Let's go with that.
Well, we ought to try to not have this fight break out onto the streets. Even though they might be making their home here, I don't think everybody here is with the cultists, so we ought to try to not stir up trouble until we get there.
So, I need everyone to make me a perception check, please.
Oh boy.
Oh, I rolled good.
So it's this plus a d4.
Damn it.
And not great. So 17 for mine.
Did we get
Maria
it right?
does have inspiration if she decides to use it at some point.
Gotcha. Cool. Excellent. So,
18 and 21, my favorite terrain is bathhouses.
Gray and Edwin, you start to notice a few select individuals.
Do you want to start your pings up, Edwin?
Start my what up? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Your pings, your little radar beep.
Oh, yeah, I can do that. I can start radaring for these
Also,
guys.
God, not to be a person that did anthropology, I almost just said LiDAR instead of radar. Very specific radar.
You be like that.
Yeah, I can start doing some beeps and some boops to find cultists.
Cool. I mean,
Soups
the
and grapes.
source of this cultist, you see the cultists
Oh,
hanging
cool.
around. I mean,
That's a big
yeah.
cultist.
Yeah.
you see the cultists. But the signal, for lack of a better word, is coming from inside the bathhouse.
Is there a way for us to go into the bathhouse and draw them in? Because I don't think we want to be starting this fight on the street.
As you say that to yourself, like, two people over here start drunkenly brawling, and everyone just kind of just like walks around them.
Would they still do that if we killed somebody?
You could ask.
Yeah. I'll ask Elizabeth to translate, I guess, and I'll ask Kiniko. There are some of the cultists very plainly out in the open. If we kill them, will anyone pay any mind, or will the yokai be upset with this?
Yeah. She says they won't care.
Well, keep the
There are a few that
explosions
might
going.
join in just for the fun of the fight, but just be careful.
Well, I'll point out the cultists to everybody just so everyone knows where they're at. I'll do it sneakily, so I'll try to do it sneakily, and
Give
I'll
me a
say, "Do we
stealth.
want to?" Yeah, okay.
Damn.
Okay.
Shit.
Damn,
Jesus.
you are very subtle about it. You are the most subtle you have ever been in your life.
All right, and I'll say to everyone, "All right, want to prepare to attack on 3?"
We're just
So
going
we
at
can-
it.
Kimiko, like, casually pulls down the cloth-wrapped bundle on her back and slides down the silk to reveal the handle of a cross-guardless katana.
All right. Everyone will do a countdown, and then we can all kill a guy.
Okay, you.
Okay.
Edwin will aim for the guy in the back right.
Back right.
Bottom right.
So
Excuse
is
me.
that
Bottom
this
right.
one?
Yes.
Okay, because back right would technically be over here.
I meant that guy, the guy I'm pinging.
That guy. Okay, so Edwin's gonna do this one. Okay, so let's get some initiative rolls from everyone.
Oh, Maria.
I didn't hit my damn token.
Ah, you fool!
Every goddamn time.
It's the
One day.
classic movie mistake.
Oh,
Bounty
it's
roll
somehow
the
the same.
Huh. Neat.
Nice.
Can I do an action before everything kicks off to put on my armor?
You could try summoning it.
I mean, it just takes an action to Iron Man it on.
Wait,
Yeah, before Edwin counts down, he's also going to cast Mage Armor on himself.
Cowards. I just take damage and die.
I mean,
And we see how well it's gone for
that
you.
is true. You do that.
I should write down the tattoo spell information somewhere.
It would probably help, yes.
It really would.
Wow, Kimiko and Elizabeth. They're in sync.
Wow.
Alright,
Wow.
So, now that we've got this, can we... Oh, this one? There we go. Now if I add turn, is this going to add each... It will. Excellent. Oh, I need to name them, don't I? Okay, well, let's just do it. How many have I got here? 10? Cool. And 4. Unless you guys would like all 10 of them to go on the same initiative.
No, I think that's a disaster waiting to happen.
Yeah, let's have them scattered a little bit, hopefully.
This guy rolled a natural 1.
Oof.
Hell yeah.
It'd be like that sometimes.
Yeah, if it's like 3 or 4 guys doing on the same initiative, that's one thing, but there's like 10 of these guys.
Well, I mean, picking a fight with the entire clan.
Eh.
Or the entire cult.
Wait, these
Okay.
guys are rolling.
Okay. That's 10 d20s. So, can I get some music in here that's not going to be shit?
That's a good question.
Good question.
Is this still not working? Still not working. Balls. What are we feeling, guys? Bad
A
idea,
mouse?
distressed? We could do all this. I really wish I could have my battle music. That would have been great. But it be like that sometimes.
One
Yeah.
day it'll return.
Nah. What's this one like? While I'm finding some music, plan out your stuff. Yeah, good enough.
All right, I'm
So,
gonna use a
what are you gonna
big.
do?
I'm gonna use dissonant whispers on the bottom right guy at level 5 whenever we start.
Okay, distant whispers on the bottom right guy.
Yep.
So you guys get one action in the surprise round. So if Shamrock, you want to summon your armor,
Yep.
that's going to start the surprise round if you do it.
No, it'll be what it be. I kind of want my armor on.
Okay, cool. So Shamrock's going to summon his armor. What's Maria
An
got?
Iron Man sequence later.
Firebolt sounds good. We'll do a firebolt on this guy. Okay. So going down the list. Formally, what are you doing?
Hello, I am going to stay around here because Rogue and Hero are my allies. Shamrock, I'll stick with you, buddy, old pal. But
Yeah.
in the meantime, I'm going to use machine pistol and target this guy down here that I am pinging in
Okay,
the
cool. That
bottom
one.
left corner. Yes.
That one.
And it is a 17 to hit this guy.
Okay, cool. We'll get to that in just a second. Fritz, what are you doing?
These two fuckers up here
Uh-huh.
gonna do Ragion Cube.
Did you remember you have to summon your persona?
That's very true. I guess I'll do that.
Okay, cool. And they're gonna
Surprise
do that.
around
Okay.
snake time.
Okay, so Formula's first. That will hit, and he takes a licking, but he is not quite dead yet. He took a good shot to the chest, though. That does have burst fire, I believe. Which
It does.
if I remember correctly, lets you shoot multiple rounds at once or something like that. I don't
Modern
know.
handbook.
Yeah, we'll have to look it up in a little bit. Maria's going to do her firebolt. Oof, hate to see it. Oh, we need some battle music. We'll do it after the surprise round. Can I just copy these and throw them right over there? Alright, so, hate to see it, firebolt missed. The guy, was looking over at the sound of the gunshot. Like, his head started to turn, and he happened to glance and ducked under the bolt. Fritz!
Yeah.
We're summoning Jezebel?
Yep.
Okay. Keep in mind, you guys can use your movement as well.
I don't want to get fucking close to these bastards. They got germs.
Okay.
6 feet, bitch.
That's fair enough.
Yeah, at the same time, I also gotta protect the squishies, so I'll stick where I am.
Cool. Kimiko is going to kneel down in almost a sprinter stance, and in a flash, she is over here attacking one of them. $17 to hit. This is so Kimiko is of the flashing wave style, and so this is crushing. This is crushing rivers. So this is going to be 4d6 plus 5. 23 damage. Kimiko cleaves this guy in half.
Man, I wish I hadn't said I was using a level 5 spell slot on this.
Whoops.
It's fucking overkill for these guys. Shit.
I'll blow his brains out.
Elizabeth is going to... Fritz, are you, like, making gestures like you're getting ready to attack those dudes?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so she'll leave them alone for you. So she is going to... she'll do this one just to try and get rid of the ones around. Hate to see it. Oh, that fails to hit as well. So, Edwin, you're up.
Alright, Dissonant Whispers.
Go for
I
it.
have my violin out for this.
What song are you playing for your Dissonant Whispers? To activate it as your spell focus.
He'll play kind of a...
That went down to
He's
Georgia.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, Devil went down to Georgia, so he's
I
playing.
don't think that song has been invented yet, but that's fine.
Yeah, but you know, something like it.
You probably intend to play one song, and then the violin takes over and ends up playing Devil Went Down to Georgia.
So 17 plus 9 is the damage.
And that's a wisdom?
Yep, and it's a wisdom for
Okay.
half.
He has a wisdom save of 3, so he has to roll a 14 or less.
Yeah, the DC would be
Or-
19 because of the violin.
So
know
he
I
has
say that
to
every time.
roll a 16 or more.
Okay.
He did not roll a 16 or more, so he
So
takes
that
full
is-
damage.
26 damage.
All right, that is enough to give him.
His head explodes and he bleeds out his ears.
Ears flop on the ground and they continue to bleed. Jamrock.
Armor up.
Okay, armor up. Do you want to move? Bonus action? Anything? Move these over here.
Oh wait, I get bonus. Bonus action, shield up, and I'll stand in front of Maria. Just
Cool. All right. Formerly, you are top of the initiative. Now, let's get... Go for it.
Okay. God damn it. Sorry, I'm trying to do the ruler tool, and it's just doing the crabby hand, and I don't know why.
did you select the ruler?
Yep. It says snap to center.
Huh.
But it's... Okay, there we go. Okay. Okay, I can do it if I dash. That's fine. I can bonus action. I'm gonna bonus action dash to get here.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, here. And I'm going to hit this guy with Night's Watch.
All right. Please kill him in a gruesome manner.
I will.
I'll do it. The crit.
Wait, just really quickly, in case it wasn't overkill.
Nice. So yeah, he is
Decapitated.
for sure dead.
Wow, it's a shame. My soul, my sword gets another soul slurped in there.
Show do.
I'm at max charge, babes. Let's go. Oh wait, no, not with my
Anything
awakened
else?
form. Nope.
Okay. Maria's turn. Oh shit. Hold on. okay, we're good. So Maria's turn. She is going to... she's going to pistol this dude. 16 will hit. 14 piercing damage. Okay, he takes a mighty wound in his chest, and he keeps going. She is gonna stay right where she is. Fritz,
Now cube time.
now cube time. Make
Now
cube.
Make cube. 25 hit.
Show do.
Give me them sexy old deck saves, baby.
Absolutely not. That's a full 21 fire damage.
Mr. Critters?
Ooh.
The top one is okay, but the bottom one is not.
Yeah.
Hate to see it.
Sucks. Anything else, Fritz?
I will.
Don't forget to subtract your stamina points.
Already have. I'm gonna move this little queen. We'll move her more this way.
Cool. This one is going to pull out something and shake it up. And assets, purchase, templates. I'm gonna need this a lot. Come on. There we go. He's gonna toss one right there. But he's got to make an attack roll first. On Maria. Hey Maria, what's your AC again? 16. Thanks, Maria. That will hit. Everyone in there has to make me a dexterity save, please.
Oh boy, my favorite.
Wow,
Actually, I
I
have
just
good
can't
dex
roll good
saves.
for Maria, can I?
I gotta do Maria's already like that.
Not try. Oh, jeez. Rested pieces.
Ugh.
Okay, so just those two. So everyone else takes half of that.
Rounding up or down?
Down.
It's down.
So 1
I
point
always-
of damage.
Yeah, sorry, I always forget.
Yep,
So
you're good.
6. And her current hit points are that. And
What type of damage is it?
this is poison damage.
Okay.
Sorry. This is like a plague bomb. So everyone who's in here who is everyone in here who took damage. So if formerly evasioned it, he would take no damage. So everyone who took damage has to make a Constitution save, please. If you
Is
are
that a
not
disease?
resistant, it is a disease. Yeah.
Okay, I'm fine.
Or no, it's not a disease. Sorry, it's a poison. But if you are not, or sorry, it is a disease. You're right. So if you are not resistant to poison damage, you roll at disadvantage.
Gross.
Yeah, it is gross. It's disgusting. they're fine. I think I need a... Shamrock, you're fine.
I'm immune.
Yep, so, none of you... yes, you're all good.
Cool beans.
Oh, by the way, that damage from the bomb was poison damage. If any of you are resistant.
Okay.
Just gonna move that out of the way. This one's turn. Where he at? Take you out of the initiative. Alright, so this one is going to... there. And he's going to double move to get here. Kimiko's turn. She turns and runs up to this dude and does a crashing waterfall. Which is... hits. And so he... takes 14 points of damage. And has to make a strength save or be knocked prone. Nope. So he... that should have been +1, but that's fine. So he is prone. Where's my prone? There's prone. And he took... I'm sorry. He took 14 damage. Elizabeth's turn. She did not just recently kill a dude. So she's gonna, at this guy again, attempt to go a spike. Wow, she just can't roll worth shit.
Oh no.
That sucks, man. Yeah, and at a +6, she doesn't have to roll high either. She's just rolling real bad.
God.
She will move. Let me get closer. This guy. Where he at? Okay. To get flanking. Dead. Dead. Edwin.
Alright, I'm gonna Dissonant Whispers. Wait, no. If Elizabeth's going to that bottom guy, I'll aim for... There's one near, I'll go for the one near Kimiko, I guess. With Dissonant Whispers again. This
Okay.
time, not
Left or
at,
right?
the right one.
Okay.
And I'm not gonna do it at 5th level this time.
Go for it.
I'm gonna do it at, I guess, 2nd. So that's 12.
And that's a save for half.
Yep. DC 19 save.
Well, not with a natural 3. Okay. You said to the right, correct?
Yeah, the right one takes 12. 12
Okay.
psychic.
Nice.
And then, what else can I do? Did anyone get hit by anything? That did
Everyone
more-
that
around you
acid
got
bomb.
hit.
By anything that did more than 3 damage?
No.
Not yet.
Okay.
The enemies
then-
did.
And then Edwin is going to move over here just to be away so that we don't all get AoE'd again.
Gotcha.
And I guess I'll inspire. I'll inspire formerly.
Cool.
And
Normally, you
So,
got a
like-
bardic inspiration.
Yeah, I'll say like, my God, you cut him in half. That was so cool. You're like a knight.
Ormondly's like blushing a little bit. He'll take the inspiration.
These Edwin inspirations, I live for them.
So wholesome every time.
Wow. I mean, it's certainly a choice.
That will break Kimiko's AC. So he's going to roll 6, 8 damage. Kimiko has to dexterity out of that. Not enough. And then con save 2. That is not good enough. So who wants to roll me a d6?
Sure. Nope, that's a 16. Hold on.
It's a 16. Oh,
That's a 6.
Okay. So Kimiko has contracted. I don't know. So basically, the way that this disease works is you roll a d6, and that's the stat that you get affected.
Oh,
And that stat, all checks until the disease is cured have disadvantage.
oh.
But it's charisma, and she doesn't use charisma for anything. So
We can tell.
Roasted.
no need to be so discriminatory, Shamrock.
Hey, listen, I was a robot once.
Okay, so Kimiko.
Lo and behold, what I know about charisma, but with my now 10, I'm a vampire.
So Kimiko took 8 damage. And she has, I don't know, boils or something. She has disadvantage on all charisma checks.
Gross.
Shamrock,
Yes.
it's your turn.
All right. I'm going to move up, and what's the range? Give me the ruler. There. Actually, gonna pull out a gun for the first time in forever.
Whoa, gun!
I know, right? Well, I'll pull up my sidearm and pop a shot at that one guy over there. And that's what I get for trying to shoot a gun.
Is that like Papa Smurf?
It's been so long since I fired a gun. Just, whoa.
Ah! There's an explosion in my hand.
You know, I fear I should probably be used to this, but, you know, it's been a while. Probably should have adjusted the sights.
You... Okay, fine. There it is.
Oh, and then a second shot. Boop.
Oh.
So I get 2 attacks.
Alright, the second one will hit. 14 piercing damage.
Yep. Enough
It was
to
on-
drop him?
Yeah, it was on one of the guys that got hit by
Yep,
Fritz's
that's
fire
enough.
duty.
Yeah.
I call him Pencil Louie because they filled him full of lead.
Well, okay then.
Yep, that's good. So, Shamrock, dexterity, please.
Yep. Oh, okay.
Okay. Or poison damage.
Alright, let's finally dip into actual HP.
And now, everyone who's not Shamrock.
Items already coming in spades.
Yep. Oh boy, it's like it's a plague cult or something.
It's almost like I'm prepared for this.
That is good enough.
Are you sure?
Dead. Dead.
Oh, good surprise round.
Formerly, it's you.
Wonderful. Sorry, I just had my cat climb onto my lap as we started this round.
RTQ.
Naturally.
Yeah, why wouldn't I? Why do I have a blue dot on me?
You're inspired.
Inspiration.
Oh, okay. I'm inspired to walk over and stab a man.
Now,
So inspiring.
you are flanking, so that means you have advantage.
That's still a solid 30 to hit.
Yeah, it is.
Oh,
Is that
no.
right?
Yeah. The silent room.
We are a bit over.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're asleep or awake.
Neither do I.
Yeah. That's all I really
Yep.
got for him. this turn.
Maria's turn. One day Maria will land a spell, and it's gonna be the day.
I believe in her.
Believe in the Maria believes in you.
$19's enough to hit.
Hey.
All right.
And that is enough to take this dude out.
Aha.
Now, last thing we do. Oh no.
It doesn't trigger on cantrips, does it?
It's on any spell, I believe.
Raw magic's only like actual leveled spells, but do what you want.
We'll look into it later. For now, oh,
Hey. Cool.
okay.
Oh.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, fair enough.
I'm with it. Sure.
Not that they've been used yet, but okay. You know what? You do you.
You know what? You do you. I'm proud of you for trying. Maria
After
has
first level
killed.
pirate.
Fritz, you're up.
Fritz disappeared to the Shadow Realm.
I see. In that case, we will move a little closer and set this dude on Mega Fire. There is it. Ooh, that'll definitely hit. And that is 100% enough damage to kill him.
Huh.
Okay, cool. All right.
So now baby it's in the corner.
This one. No. I feel bad just throwing this at two people who are AFK.
Well,
Yeah.
When you put it like that.
So he's going to throw it at Edwin.
Okay, that's fine. I'll just get sick and die.
Dexterity save, please.
Or not. Or not. It's illegal.
That's a 19.
Yeah, the bombs don't do an incredibly large amount of damage.
Of the disease.
3 points of damage.
Right.
It's poison, by the way.
Yep.
And I need you to make me a Constitution save, please, at disadvantage.
14.
Would you like to roll the d6?
Sure, why not? Fucking shit.
Oh no.
All charisma-based checks until you get cured
That's all
Alright.
of my important ones.
are at disadvantage.
Oh no.
Does that include, like, does that fuck with my DC?
So charisma, straight charisma checks, charisma saves, and charisma-based skills.
Okay. Okay, that still sucks, but not as much as I was thinking.
No, but
Could be worse.
if it had hit Constitution, for example, or
Ugh.
Dexterity or Strength, those would be much worse. Or if it hit Intelligence, all your
Right.
knowledges would be disadvantaged.
Right.
Kumiko's gonna flash step over here.
And make sashimi out of this guy.
That fails. So she's gonna use. She's gonna use her reaction to do a come around and try to hit it again. That's much better. Yeah, toast. And Elizabeth, go behind him. And D20 plus 6. Nice. Yep,
I'll do it.
that's what it do.
I'll blend.
Yeah.
As like she stabs this dagger into a guy, and you guys can almost see like the moisture leaving his body as it sucks the blood out of his body into a vial at the hilt of the dagger.
How about that dagger?
Yep.
Me too.
She licks the blood off the blade as she resheathes it.
Oh boy.
This is giving Shamrock feelings.
Stay strong, Sham. Stay strong.
Edwin, it's your turn.
Are any of them alive?
And what? They're all dead.
Oh, they are all dead. Okay, cool. So combat is over then. That was the last one. Cool. So
I just wrap up here since we're
yeah, we'll wrap up
Down
here, and then we'll pick up on the boss battle next week,
shiny.
Oh boy.
where hopefully music
Oh
will work.
boy. Yeah. That or we need to hire some more musically inclined where they can sing for us.
Yeah, that would also do.
Oh, Gray.
Great.
I can't hear you right now.
Busy sleeping. Falling asleep at their keyboard.
it
Pray
be like
forever in
that.
the silent room. Oh well. It'd be late, so
I thought I was unmuted this whole time. I'm sorry that you got cursed, Edwin.
Oh, it's
Uh,
alright.
I'm gonna go to bed because I have to wake up for work in 5 hours. But thank you for the
Oh.
session, Jeffrey. I'm excited for
Yeah.
next week to fight the boss.
I'm excited for next week as well. It should be lots of fun.
Lovely.
Yeah.
soon. Oh boy.
Okay, so let's move back to the title screen. All right, everyone. Thanks for joining us for another episode of the Unsung City. Hopefully next week we'll have everything working properly. Until then, bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh no. More issues. Ah.